got guys coming in for a couple hours, so it's just kind of perfect. So me and the homie Tiny, we start about 10 a.m. So I drop off my kids at school, and I'm already on this side of town, so it's like by 9 o'clock, bro, I'm pretty available. And there's a lot of my clients that are kind of like in the same situation. So I usually start about like 10 a.m. That way I can get a good half day in and then finish in time to get to school and get the kids.
Yeah, no doubt. I know that was my morning routine too. That's why I was like, that works out perfect. And I was telling your brother about that too. For mornings, like we have to be up before everybody. If you want to do anything, go train. I mean, we'll be that's like at 5, 6 in the morning, just because that's the only thing I got available. You know?
15 years ago, we'd probably be waking up at like 12.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it this way. You know what I mean? Just as an artist and just a human being, man. When you're a father and you take care of kids and you make sure that they're fed and they're dressed well, and everything's. It just puts a lot more things in perspective to where like benefits out of tattooing, because I mean, you want to just be good at everything you do, man.
It's been 15 years then, right? Like for you and your bro, like as far as how long you guys been in the industry, or
so I've been tattooing only for about 9 years, but I started piercing by like 2005.
Well, listen, give us your name, where you're at, what you do, how long you've been doing that, like the change of, the past, how you started to where like 9 years into this new, it's actually tattooing, and we'll kind of kick it off from there. Go ahead, bro.
My name's Peter Barrios. I'm 39. Started tattooing professionally at the age of 30. Was a body piercer for a long time. Apprenticed at Bad Apple Tattoo in Las Vegas, and now I work at Crown of Thorns Tattoo in Las Vegas. We're prominently like a black and gray shop, so I get to stick out a little bit more because I like doing traditional Japanese. Pretty much anything with like line work, black. You know what I mean? I love color saturation, but at the same time, I like technical black and gray or like fine line. Tattooing. Like just I'm inspired by a lot of things. I don't really have like a set style. You know what I mean? Just kind of go with the flow, ride the wave. You know what I mean? My clients are everything from dating to young ladies to fucking face tattoo felons. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, no, for sure.
There's no style that falls in between those two. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, I mean, how did you get into the piercing thing? I mean, I know that you've been tattooing for so long because, I mean, I've seen pretty much your start when you were apprenticing and going from like, you did a real, when I first noticed that you started to actually apprentice, I thought you were just painting for fun, right? Because you were painting flash. I remember you were doing like stitch shading and you were doing like traditional flash.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like, he's piercing, but he's painting, and then it kind of came out like, all right, apprentice, and you started making it a little bit more known, and then that's when you start seeing the bangers, and I'm like, Peter's getting into tattooing, and I remember because like your bro and stuff, and I was like, well, it makes sense, but I never knew you guys were like, for one, working obviously like together to branch out and be at the same spot. And he, for those of you who don't know or listening now, so Peter's brother is Joseph, which is one episode previous to, so I just released his. Next will be a buddy of mine. He's also, so he does combative in the Army, combative training.
So,
and he's he brought a black belt jiu-jitsu system into the Army to scrap all the like standard, because I don't know if you talk to some clients in law enforcement or military, when they do combatives, it's a very like, it's not what you and I would think. What, like, jiu-jitsu, and so their jiu-jitsu is like just survival and like
tournament style,
right? Tournament traditional,
competitive
style. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, their belt system's different. I don't even think they have a system. They just go in and train, but they got to do that once every so often, as like required.
I know what I mean. I think anybody that's in the job of detaining or handling people should be skilled in that, if not mastered at that, because it's important, man. Like,
at least the blue belt. I tell a lot of the homies that my clients are cops, I'm like, bro, you guys should at least be blue belt, if not purple, because I roll with some guys that are in law enforcement, and these guys, I'm like, bro, like, let's say they're new into this in the gym, and I'm like, if you have me in the streets, you're gonna have a problem, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is like, I know you're new, but this is why we need to get you up, you and the crew. I mean, that's why it's so like there are law enforcement, there are some cops and guys in the military that is their passion. So but they have to kind of take it on their own to go train.
Yeah.
Like obviously liabilities, and like funding. That was the biggest thing that I learned when I had him on.
Yeah.
So that episode's coming on after your bros, and then it'll be this one. So everybody tuning in, that way we could like correlate the connection of how did you get into this whole like piercing?
So I grew up in LA from the league and everything. So normally piercing was kind of like hand in hand, you know what I'm saying? Piercing and tattooing. When I came out to Vegas, I was shocked that it's mostly tattoo parlors and they very rarely have piercers. But back in, when I was 18, fresh out of high school, I was working in downtown Fullerton, and, it was really hard to get an apprenticeship. A lot of fools, you walk in, like, hey, I want to learn how to tattoo. They'll tell you, fuck you, and I'll bounce. So piercing was my little like, hey, you guys need a piercer? Like, actually, we do, dog. You want to come in? Like, oh, yeah. So I'm just, sneaking over here, little piercer. Hey, you need me to set you up? You need me to break you down? I was scrubbing tubes, bro. Like, I was legitimately earning, like, once I was just showing them that I wanted to be a tattooer. You know what I'm saying? And, I got into piercing. I fell in love with piercing. And then tough times in California. So I moved up to Vegas. And when I came out to Vegas, I already had like a little bit of like, we'll call it souvenir style piercing, where it's kind of like I'm not educated on jewelry size or sterilization or the tooling or the inflammation, like just everything, bro. Like just so much world. And then when I came out here, I was under Adam Stokes and Nick Costello at the piercing shop, and I became a freehand piercer, bro. I was doing everything that I seen on the internet, like the corsets, you know what I'm saying? I just fell in love with it. And like 3 months into my piercing apprenticeship out here to, be legit and be, like officially signed off, my mentor passed away. So that was like literally just so shocking, because my other mentor, Nick, he basically told me, look, dude, well, now you're going to have Adam shifts. I'm going to teach you everything immediately, and you're piercing like now.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it, bro. I completely stepped away from tattooing, painting, drawing, following fucking tattooers, all that. And I just fixated on piercing and networked out here. Every tattoo shop knew me because, like I said, out here, there wasn't a piercer at every shop. So, I did good work. Never had any complaints. But
I mean, I know there's kind of like I don't know if you want to call it a code or whatever, but was there ever times where you'd be called to go pierce, like, or they would just send people your way if they would piercing?
They would comfortably send everybody to my place because even though it was right next to a tattoo shop, it was segregated. And I always showed appreciation of the shops and stuff. I'd call and go, hey, what's up? This is Peter from the piercing shop. I just want to say thank you for those 2 walk-ins. Those clients are super nice. I saw the work you did on it. It's fucking sick, bro. I want to come in and get an appointment with you. And just by that, bro, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, they knew I wasn't going to tattoo none of those people.
No threat. They were like,
yeah. But after a couple of years, man, and I just kind of knew that my passion was tattooing, and the whole reason I wanted to be a piercer was so I can get my foot in the door.
Right.
But luckily by that time, like MySpace was up, Facebook was up. And when I was making the transition into a tattoo apprentice, so like when I was shop help at Bad Apple and like earning my apprenticeship opportunity, I was still piercing. They were cool about it. I would pierce them there. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was piercing and I was making money. And then when they're like, all right, cool. Now you gotta, now you're gonna be our official apprentice, or our papered apprentice. So no more shop help money. Like you can do odd jobs for the artists and stuff like that. So I basically got a job with, they're called Beacon Tattoo Supply today, but at the time they're called Lighthouse. And like I said, I had the gift of gab, and I had everyone in the industry was my friends, bro. Like I'd pierce homies' daughters, their wives, like babies on me, like, you know what I mean? Like I just fell in love with it.
You're the man to do that, yeah.
Yeah, and then so people were really shocked when I said I'm not piercing no more. Like, well, you can't do this, you know what I mean? I have no needles, I have no jewelry, I have no place to do it. I'm so sorry. I'm focusing on this. And for like 6 months, where I started painting and drawing to show people that I was serious. The big thing about transitioning from a piercer to a tattooer, tattooers don't like that shit.
Right.
They don't like that shit. They feel like, oh, you know what I mean? Like a piercer in traditional tattoo shops, you know what I'm saying, is like a paid apprentice. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, you got to put gloves on, you got to see boobs, you got to get this. All right, cool. Well, guess who changes the light bulb?
Yeah.
The fool not tattooing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I wanted to come in with a lot of respect, and I wanted to show real tattooers that, like, I'm going to spit shade, I'm going to draw, I'm going to study, I'm going to fucking, you know what I mean? I picked up the Sailor Jerry stuff, I picked up the Marla Cass stuff, you know what I mean? Like all the Jimmy Livlock stuff, just everything that was at that time, like the heavy stuff. And I just had fun with it, bro. And honestly, like once I was able to hold a machine, it was like finally, like being in the last generation of like where I feel it was sacred. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you couldn't even ask a tattooer to, hey, can I see your machine? Can I hold it? Like you were like you couldn't touch it ever. Like even if you're an apprentice, I mean, like, so it was cool, man. It was I wanted to show a lot of love, appreciation, and respect through the entire like transformation. And you know, I still get people like, hey, dude, you pierce? I'm like, nah. There's times that I'm like, I bet I can still get down, dog, but
Right.
you know,
I mean, like, dude, that's an art in itself, though. I mean, when you mention corsets and all that, like all the eccentric stuff,
yeah,
and then some piercers take it to the next level and they start getting into like these suspensions, right? Because they got like some top dog piercers, and then they're like, okay, I'm well equipped. So now at conventions, you could be like assistant or the main guy to know exactly where to put piercings for suspending or whatever. Which that's wild, dude.
it's so amazing. All right, so there's one thing I love and hate about body piercers is how they are with the information and education that they receive. A lot of these fools that I talk to, bro, are like literally doctors. Like these fools, if they apply themselves within, you know, the school time, like these fools, no problem, can do open heart surgery, reload, construction. Like these guys are so smart because when you get into that world and you fall in love with it, like everything that's kind of related, like, you know, tribal scarification, where they're like putting actual like cuts in people, like these piercers would travel to these beautiful countries and desolate places to like engage more on it. And I think it's super, super cool, man. Some fools, you know, think that they know more and they're, you know, almighty and shit, but that's just
that's crazy how that correlates with everything, because it's you get obsessed with it, right? Like with tattooing, I went through that phase also where it's like, no, I want to build my own machine. I want to learn the way. I want to like know how to make a pigment from scratch and like safely to be able to, because I mean, you're making your own pigment, putting it in a mason jar, sterilization process for all that. Like I want to learn all that, the needle making, groupings, all that. Like, right, because you become obsessed with this. Like at the time, 2010, all the TV shows that were rising at the time, and you're like, I see that, but I mean, being in the shop, I started to be that guy. It's like, I don't watch that, or it's like, no, this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. There was like in the beginning, I definitely was in love with it, bro. Like
right.
Miami Ink, like I watched all. I wanted to see what it was like. You know what I'm saying? I was intrigued with tattoo shop, like atmosphere. You know what I mean? The shit they have on the walls, the music got playing, the fucking like, you know, all this the stuff that I love about street shops. And you know, it's a good thing and a bad thing, but I can definitely say I was influenced by the TVs, and it pushed me because before that, bro, like there was so much gatekeeping. Like if you want to learn how to make needles, like bro, you were probably like 4 or 5 years into a loyalty to one tattoo shop, to one artist, before that's even probably a conversation. You know what I mean? But today, now, you know what I mean? You could follow a couple of machine builders, chop it up with them, be like, hey, dude, I'd love to do a guest spot. I got a couple clients out there I can tattoo. You fly out there, tattoo your people, kick it in their atmosphere. And he's like, hey, you want to build a machine? You're like, fuck yeah. And that's the whole reason I want to come. And now you build a machine and have that experience. Like it's right. Because I love coil machines. I use everything. So, but to build your own machine and to use it and to see it done, like
super magic.
yeah, like bro, name a construction worker that built his own drill.
Right.
that forged his own hammer. That, you know what I'm saying, or just anything else. Medical doctor.
In that kind of perspective, that'd be crazy. Like, you see this, it's like a no-name drill. It's like a Frankenstein. I made it myself, like,
bro. It's like a weapon. It's like a sword. I merged this from nothing and I sharpened it and had my family name on it, and I protected my family and country with it. And look, I still got it.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, like,
my first dude, I feel like the first machines that I have and the ones that I've built, and I have just random frames that I've built that I haven't even like put together, because I would get like, I had that problem too, like you mentioned. I wanted to get an 8 wrap, 10 wrap, and then, you know what I mean? Like, as far as the coils, I was like,
yeah.
So I couldn't make it with my mind, and I would make doubles of a frame just to have 2 different set of liners, 2 different set of shaders of different wraps. And I was messing around with the shorties and really getting down to the science and understanding, the whole, at one time you could just buy springs, uncut spring, because people were doing it themselves, and they had you want to talk about science of that, bro. It's, to make the science, the right bend and the right, you know what I mean? How is it? Yeah. Cause
bro, the metal they use for the washers, you know what I mean? If you're using a yoke, you know what I mean? If you're using a painted frame, why isn't my coil running? Like, why you have no metal yoke on? You know what I mean? It's just a little motherfucker is what's stopping this whole thing from being natural.
Small the conductivity, or there's a ground somewhere that's like, bro, this is off, and it'll just stick. You run that happen, you're like, why is this happening? The first time it happened to me, when I hit a coil machine and I didn't know what was going on, it would just like stick. Right, yeah. The armature bar, and like that, it would just
hard. And then you turn it on, like, you can't even push it down.
Yeah, you're like,
push it up. I mean,
it's a magnet. You know what I mean? So therefore, something on there's something in the cycle you have to troubleshoot and know how, and check your washers and the spacers and stuff that were.
So this reminds me of a hazing story that I heard. Luckily, I was into the industry a little bit after this generation.
Yeah,
but this artist would tell me, as I do, there's this one artist, he was a dick, and he saw me drawing for a tattoo. Client comes in, they're sitting down, I'm excited, and I can't find my liner. No, he can't find a shader. And he's like, dude, like, have you seen my machine? He's like, oh yeah, it's over there, dude. This artist took his machine completely apart. This fool had to literally put that machine back together, fully functioning, go back, tattoo, and and the client wouldn't know the wiser. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
that's crazy.
That fool knows, like, it's like military. Like, that fool can probably put that shit back together blindfolded, bro.
Right.
And that's a skill that I can't do that right now. I swear to God. If you brought me a machine, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's real, yeah.
That precious, bro. It's that important. It's that.
The way you feel about that right now, I feel like at one point the mentors or those like OGs, they stopped doing the traditional like making. I mean, at some point everybody had to just see the practicality of, well, now I can just buy the supplies. Now I can just buy the already, which evolved to now I can just print this out, stencil already made. Now I can just redesign this, and my machine, I can just let it run. I don't have to turn it off. You know what I mean? That's, dude, it's crazy. I don't know if I see, I went to go do an episode, and I was doing like a guest spot, and I would see artists that the first time, because I never really thought about turning off the battery. People, they were just like, wow, I'm hooking the cartridge,
yeah,
and then right back in without even turning it off. And I was just like, that's crazy. Because, sometimes if you, I don't know, if something doesn't align right or whatever, and you just start buzzing all nasty or something, and you just...
Yeah, I stopped doing that, bro, only because I feel like when the machine's off, you can slide it all the way in and then get the nice turn and then locks it. When you're fighting against that armature bar, yeah, it's just an up and down, but it's a little bit that's not there. So pulling a line and all of a sudden,
yes.
What if that's your last 3 round?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do? Pick it up off the ground, but like, all right, cool. It's a rat and he was inside. Like,
nobody saw it. Yeah.
When everyone did it.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone heard the mag, the ink cap, dog.
The first time I had to get used to the whole like cartridge system, bro, I was like, everything from Dark Labs had like the like the tubes, the steel grips you could adjust, but then therefore you could also adjust the tube that got hex. So you have to know the right, you know what I mean? It's just to get that real precise with some machines, they don't have like adjustment for like the stroke, right? So you have to really, you know, figure that out yourself. Like, you know, when you have a standard needle on bar and tube, you're just, you know how to pull up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like a little
Hand pressure, needle depth.
right. So like now, I mean, now you just click things over and click it. You know, it's like you're the screwing tight or unscrew the actual like pens and you know stroke, and now you can like the FKI. What kind of what's like your go to? Even though I know you're like I'll do the coils, but like what's your go to?
I would say my go to like it really does depend on the day, man. I do like using I got a John Bates liner. John Bates is a tattooer down the street, actually right down the street. So it's pretty cool that he came in and was like, "Hey guys, I got these machines," and my brother bought one. He actually gifted me mine because I was broke at the time. I was like, "Bro, like I got no money on me. I'm so sorry." He's like, "Here, man, run it. Let me think. You know what you think?" And I message in and fucking super cool. So I would run that and some Ben Gunn coils. Again, another friend of mine, owner of Mantra Tattoo in Colorado. And bro, I've had those since I was an apprentice. Not I can show you fucking old photos of me having those, and they're just my favorites to line. I just enjoy being the only coil guy here because it's a good sound, man. Hear it, and there's nothing really kind of like it. But
I want to run have you ever ran a Dan Cuban?
Around a what?
A Dan Cuban. Have you ever ran one of those?
I haven't. I would like to. I've been hit by one, and it's pretty chill.
Yeah.
I use a Bishop Packer, and in case that goes out, I got a Cheyenne Nova.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, with the pens, bro, Tatsoul makes an amazing traditional liner. Black Claw makes amazing cartridges. I mean, I favor right now the Packer just because my clip cord's been acting up.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Or
yeah.
something's losing my power in my power supply. So it's just those little things that are frustrating. So
yeah. Or dude, I don't miss the whole like trying to find your foot pedal after a while. You're so locked into the tattoo.
I miss the foot pedal, dog. I haven't used it.
Yeah.
The floors here are really nice. So they're like polished and shit. So my brother was like, no foot switches. But I think it's cool, man. I wanted to make something.
Yeah.
I wanted to make some out of old like distortion pedals and just like nostalgic shit from like when we were kids, like, and just because they're cool, man. You can make them to where they're on constant, or you can apply your pressure. But
I made one out of the horseshoe. The horseshoe.
Yeah, dude.
That's so sick. Just get creative with it or whatever.
Bro, you can make one out of a Game Boy, homie. Just put that shit. Whatever you want to send on, dog. Like
all you need is it's just a switch,
Yeah,
I was curious about the whole, and I know there's other machines out there like Dan Cubans, but the first time I heard it, I didn't see what the artist was using, and I was talking to the other guys, I was like, oh, that's cool to hear that someone's using the photo. They're like, oh, it's not. It's and I was like, it sounds like a coil. It smacks like one, It's not loud, but so it has that little,
yeah. I think they're rad. I like that some of them are loud, some of them are quiet, so it appeals to everybody. I love the armature bar on it. I think that's super cool. I'll probably collect one day. You know what I'm saying? But you know how it is.
Yeah. So Joseph mentioned that you were already in shop, and then he was he got into a little funk. He got out and reached out to you, and he was like, bro, like. The funniest thing he said, one of the things that stood out was, he was like, well, my brother couldn't visit me because he had warrants. So, yeah, you couldn't really show up. And I'm like, that's understandable. But it was cool that he came out and he just wanted to really kind of, so I don't have any siblings. So I have to see the whole brother love through my kids, and the things that he's mentioned that he felt like he just missed out on a lot of time with his bro, things like that, and family. So he was almost just anxious and eager just to really, get back on that bond. But the fact that you're at a shop and almost like helped him with the whole, hey, like get into this or to pursue to like an apprenticeship.
Me and my brother,
Everything at the time though, right? Like when he got out and
when he got out, yeah, it's just kind of crazy because he didn't live with me. He was living with a girlfriend at that time too. So I would travel to Buena Park to go see him. And then he's actually the reason why I moved out to Vegas. After that, he was the first one out here, and I miss him so much, dude.
right. I heard it, yeah.
I didn't have much going on for me in California. The shop at Fullerton closed. Super sketchy. You got a bad breakup. So when he moved out here, I was like, I'm out.
Right.
I'm coming, dog. And best decision of our lives, man.
So you guys were, I mean, it's one of those things that you made that leap of faith just to, bounce to Las Vegas and make a home for you there, no?
Honestly, man, it was an easy decision. I dated a chick out here because of MySpace and shit. So I already came out here to party and chill. You know what I mean? So when you see kids getting out of high school and already getting their own apartment, out here apartments were like $700 bucks, bro. 2-bedroom, brand new built. Like, I was like, damn, that's crazy. So when my dad came out here to build the city center, he came up and stayed with my dad, and a month later I came out and we eventually got our own spot and had a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
But then our careers began, and once he opened up Crown of Thorns, my boss at Bad Apple, he knew, bro. He knew how close we were, and he knew I was one day gonna go over here. And when I made the transition, he was super cool about it. And it was great.
Yeah. So then your apprenticeship for piercing, you said it was like, what, like 3 months?
So because I already had experience like stabbing people, it was just more of the,
Yeah.
I swear, bro, I was influenced of fucking people up, bro. I'm not even lying. Like, I'm talking 1/4-inch studs, like Monroes and shit, like sad. But I didn't know, dude. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that grew up like that. It's not what we know, it's what we were taught. And so anyway, I already had like I was comfortable, you know what I mean? So it was just a matter of getting the piercings with no tools to the right jewelry to transferring. And bro, I learned a lot. It was so cool, man. Like it was.
Was any of that? Because I'm curious if you were ever self-taught with either piercing and then at the same time still messing around at the house with like a tattoo machine set up, like back in we all. So you always had like a legit, like you never did any like home scratcher things.
No, the only tattoo I've ever done at the house was one matching one with my brother.
Okay.
And then I think 2 during COVID. I tattooed my brother's foot when I was living with him. He was tattooing himself, and then I jumped in for a second, but I officially did tattoo in a house, so that does count.
Very good.
At one client, and I just went to his house, and but other than that, man, I knew I didn't know how to do it. You know what I mean? Like when I would do like show somebody like, oh, this is what I did, they would be like, oh my god, you're amazing. Let me hire you and not show you. Like I knew that
rule. Yeah,
I knew.
That's funny. There's one story I remember where you usually find some artists that knew how to pierce, but they wouldn't promote themselves as piercers. But back then, it's because let's say you're in Hollywood Boulevard or somewhere where it's busy walking traffic. I mean, if you want to think about hustle, some artists are going to take that on because it's like, I'm not going to turn down anything that comes in, whether it's a piercing or a tattoo, which everybody has their own opinions about that. But I remember being at a shop one time and I didn't know anyone, dude. I just went to go guest spot, and the owner just stands up, and it was kind of a shady shop. It was one of those street shops, like
tattoo shop, dog.
It was a tattoo shop, dog. Yeah. So homeboy, he's tattooing. Piercing walks in, puts his machine down, stops, sets up piercing next to the tattoo client, pierces the walk-in chick, and like, pop, there you go, bam, $40, turns around and like, keeps going. I was like, what just happened? I was like, I didn't know you know how to pierce. He's like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna turn it down. I was like,
yeah. And a lot of times in California too, it was either the owner of the building that would pierce. Monkeys to Go was where I got my first couple piercings, and he was the owner. I was like, oh, you tattoo too? He's like, no, just this. So oh, that's pretty cool, man. Um, if not, it was like the owner's wife or like, like a family member and stuff like that. But I think if a tattooer was to pierce and tattoo is because he was in a walk-in shop like that, or in a city where they're the only tattoo shop. You know what I mean?
So
But I
when, yeah,
but I think a lot of guys that did do it, if they were to keep it low pro, I don't know. Probably they probably don't want to seem like tattooing was like their second thing. It was their first thing. But
it's like one of those things that it's like you're gonna promote what you really want to attract, kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah. So then who gave you the knowledge, or did you just kind of do some, research on how to apprentice, or like what kind of put that into your mindset to be like, these are the steps that I want to take to tattooing?
so I would walk in, bro. I would walk into tattoo shops and I would immediately be told to get out because I looked so young. No tattoos, no piercings, and I wasn't really driving like before and all that shit. So like, I would have to go. I went to Norwalk Tattoo a lot, and my buddy Kobe White was tattooing or apprenticing there. And Norwalk Tattoo is still very well known. They're probably the only tattoo shop in Norwalk for years, bro. So anyway, I asked him, I was like, hey man, how did you get your apprenticeship? This fool had a fucking drawing portfolio about this thick.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a legit portfolio. And he's like, yeah, I showed this artist this, which is art. And bro, he had like the real deal apprenticeship in my eyes. And knowing that what he went through, I didn't want anything kind of like less than that. I mean, of course I wanted it easier than that, but you know what I mean? I didn't want I see what he did and I thought that, by him being there open to close, like he tattooed me at midnight.
Right.
Like it was shops, and this is like Wednesday night, Thursday night. Like these shops were open 12 to 12, and he would do everything, had to get everything mopped. This fool hand drew everything off the wall, and I thought that was just super sick. So when I came to Vegas, like I was ready to do all of that. And when I was an apprentice, I went a little above and beyond, and you have to know 8 guy setups. 8 guys want the paper towels ripped a certain way. One guy wants Vaseline on this side. One fool wants 2 grand cups, and I became militant at it, man. And I just know that there's people that have it so much harder than me and longer than me, and it was just important.
Well, it goes back to the whole sacred, like, the weight of that. You know how in the end it's gonna repay,
Yeah,
tenfold, because it builds you different.
yeah. By you line drawing everything on the wall in the shop, you pretty much started every drawing assignment of every style in the shop. There's Japanese, black and gray. There's fucking traditional. There's everything's on a wall in a tattoo shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you would do a lot of the stencils by hand, like for the other artists also, like you were stenciling stuff for them. And
so I wouldn't hand stencil anything for them. These guys were pretty regiment about
sure
getting their own thing, doing it all set up. But I would set them up. I knew all their 7-Eleven favorites. If they say, hey, we're going to Burger King today, I could be like, all right, you want this, 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 and this. I don't forget this. This is on that, like just all of that stuff. And I never had to draw off the wall like that because Bad Apple was mostly like originals and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, now look at it.
Putting it together for people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take this fool's fucking framed autograph fucking painting like, oh, he was supposed to trace this. Like, right. But I did a lot of line drawings.
That's what builds the exercise of line weight and line work.
Sharpie thing and tracing paper was everything to me. I preferred it more than microns because when you pull the line, you can actually see the whole circle where you pick up, where you stop, and I'll look at it and be like,
yeah. So I wasn't a fan of how easy microns would, they would, the tip would always, certain ones that even though they would just kind of not really hold up that well.
Yeah. And then what they're doing, once it cracks, you got to kind of like hang it on the side and now it's a thinner.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like a little Yeah, so like I like to they had some microns that almost had like a nice solid, like there was like a 0.8.
Was it physical color ones, the black ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, those ones were
So
pretty.
I remember getting taught using the heavier markers because it's like you see that bold line and that makes you want to, that's what you're training, what you'd like to see, and also the consistency where it doesn't bleed out and controlling line work and stuff like that. I just remember all that stuff where it was really packed.
Yeah, and then direction of your hand when you're running over, what you're going over, like.
When did you say you felt ready to actually get on skin? Like, what was your?
So this is during my apprenticeship. Um, I was piercing at a casino shop that Mario Bark owned. It's called King, and it was in the Mandalay Bay, and it was sick. It had 3 private stations, and I'm talking like glass walls, snakeskin couches. He owned the top. Yeah, it was just very, very big. Yeah. And again, as a piercer, I was naturally the shop help, and this is all corporate, bro. This is $500 a week, no matter what. So it was dope. But I was watching this tattooer, and he was doing a souvenir tattoo, and I was looking at it, I was like, I could fuck that. Like bro, like I even told the manager, I was like, hey, homie, like, can I do a tattoo in front of you, like, to show you that I can hang with homeboy and shit? And yeah, I think that was it. That was the time where I was like, all right, cool. And then when I finally had the machine in my head, I'm all like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like you're so much more nervous. I think what it was seeing another artist that was hired in a reputable shop push something out like that, and I was like, I can do this.
Yeah. Do you consider that kind of a sense of that motivation of like competition in a sense where you're like, or a challenge to take on? I don't know about like, because you're like, okay, you see something and you're like, I know what I'm capable of, and I'm pretty sure I can get the grip with things. So
I would say in that aspect, it definitely clicked in my decision to give up piercing, to do apprentice full time, because I didn't want another piercer to come up and be like, this guy did this. Like I want to like shut all that shit out. So again, like I was apprenticing at Bad Apple at that time, so I knew it was just a matter of time that I'll be cool. You know what I mean? I'm just piercing. I'm thankful my mentor taught me before he passed away. I took pride in all of it, and but I knew that if I wanted to be a good tattooer, it was 100%. There was no. I think the only thing I did besides love tattooing was drinking, bro. I mean, there was no more PD, there was no more skateboarding, there was no more nothing. It was just work.
did you ever do? I mean, because you used to do graph, right? So did you do any other kind of art, or was that? Would you say like you had like artistic kind of background? Or
My my artistic stuff was always like in the classroom. It was always like funny drawings and cartoons and characters or school projects. Like that's when I was like really doing it. The graffiti stuff, I was just kind of just writing my name on shit, man. I just like to destroy stuff and kind of hang out and the attention of it was cool, man. But I would say most of my drawing came from school. Just the immediate like, hey, look, what do you think about this? Like, oh, dude, that's fucking funny. That's fucking cool. Did you do this? Did you do my name? Like that instant gratification and the want of people wanting my stuff is what I will push. You know what I mean?
yeah. And so what year did you guys? I'm sure, yeah, you said it in the episode, but what year did you guys actually open up the whole Crown of Thorns thing? Because he talks about finding the building and having the vision for it. But was that something that you guys were back and forth about it, or he already told you I'm going to go look for a spot? Are you? I mean, how did all that go down?
Oh yeah, I'm so proud of my brother because he did this 100% like on his own, like his own knowledge. Like when he was like, "Yeah, I got a east facing shop," I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" He's like, "That means that the sun will be in the way only in the morning time. So when we come to work, it's over." And I was like, "Oh, like I've never thought of that." You know what I mean? I'm all trying to think of what direction all the tattoo shops I worked in are facing now. I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking brilliant." But beautiful location. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of shops around here, which is hard to say in Las Vegas, right? You know what I mean? But his everything from the colors to his uniform toolboxes to all black furniture. Like that's all him, dog. You know,
You're talking about working at a top-notch shop,
yeah,
the old snakeskin stuff, but then now we have this new, uh, kind of like,
kind of like in the middle. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you know, there's shop. So what I'm used to is like everything on the wall. You know what I mean? Antiques, fucking dolls, and stuff.
yeah,
Here's like you know like a haunted museum and shit.
yeah.
But here it's you know uniform frames, original pieces only. You know what I'm saying? And it's built because it just draws the rest of the world into an artistic element in a very sterile and professional place. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at shoe boutiques. You know what I mean? You can walk into a street place and they have carpet and every shoe's all saran wrapped, and then you walk into a place that's marble and lighting and shit, and you're like, same shoe, but this one's gonna be a little bit more up there because of the presentation.
Right. It's all presentation and the vibe too. And you want to go to work inspired too. Like you want to be. I mean, I've worked in the traditional shops where it's flash up the wall. You know what I'm saying? And then that was. I just I don't want to say I got tired of it, but I wanted a different approach because I know a lot of OG artists are like that's just their norm. They're just like, no, I want flash even on the ceiling. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's just that.
Bro,
you know,
so my favorite thing about tattooing is that there's no wrong way to have a shop,
right?
unless you're tattooing fucking kids and weird shit.
Right.
But you know what I mean? If you sell bongs, whatever, that's you. That's what you got to do to keep your building open. You know what I mean? Like if you got to sell this or you got to advertise this, like that's just the martial arts of survival in this industry. You know what I mean? Like look at Cryptic Tattoo, man. I think that's one of the sickest shops with rider bikes hanging off the walls and beautiful paintings, and everybody has their own like style of their station. And then out here, there's Downtown Tattoo where, bro, every wall, including the ceiling, is 100% hand painted. Hand painted, bro. But you know what? Those fools are doing amazing because those are their drawings, those are their paintings, and the legacy of tattooers that worked there before, and the transition of shop to opening to a new shop. Like it's like that's like one of my favorite flash chunks for sure. And I think they're just all dope, man. You know,
I think at some point some owners will take that into consideration if they're starting new. Because your brother and I, we opened our shops around the same time, and when I opened up this like second spot, I was like, all right, I want to just kind of give it a whole different approach.
Yeah,
just like you said, everything in uniform, and I started having that mindset too. And so your bro and I kind of had that same like, and then a lot of guys that we worked with that we know, you walk into their shops and they now have that same visual where you walk in and they have like Pepper is put like on the staircase. He came in to do like a 6 script piece on there before, has like the sickest shop logo, and like everything's just like it's its own little like
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I think what it is, man, is it is, you know, as business owners, we look to how are we going to attract more people in, and how are we going to keep our people that are here and others too, man. You know what I mean? Like, how many entrepreneurs do you tattoo? How many businesses have you walked into that's not even a tattoo shop where you're like, dude, these lights are sick. Where do you get these mirrors? Where do you get this sink? And it's just like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, I want this for the next shop. And, you know, to have 2 locations, bro, I don't really see anybody opening up a second location and it being mirrored.
Right.
Like there was a last chance tattoo out here on the west and one on the east, and it was different. Like you just can't, because it's the artist. You know what I mean? Like what they put on their wall or the clients that they bring in. Like I think it's just personal, man. You know what I mean? And you gotta, because you're 2 sides. You know what I mean? Like you're very professional. You can put on a suit, do that, and then if you got to, you can get down and hang.
Keep it G. Yeah.
But it's just we're trying to find the profitable, like this real way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's another thing your brother mentioned about your guys' location is that he also looked into the demographic of people living there and kind of looking onto almost like what's the typical like income streams or whatever. You know, like he definitely, like you said, was very scientific or very like spot on with dissecting not just the east side facing building, but yeah, what kind of people live in this area. And that's smart because you think about it. I mean, a lot of people don't really it's just one of those things. I found a building, I'm gonna get it. You know, it's not a, but you're in the hood, you know, and it's
But when you're in the hood, man, it's usually like, location is everything, but sometimes some people want it for the square footage or the alley in the back or the fact the fucking owner lives a block away. You know what I'm saying? Like,
where that's the home for the owner too. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is my block. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, it's my neighborhood. It's
my neighborhood. Yeah, people know me here, so it's kind of like, you know, you're just so. You worked at multiple shops. Where would you say did you kind of like come in also? Because he already had, did he make, open that shop and then you kind of came in after? How long did it take you as far as your transition coming into the Crown of Thorns?
So I think I came, I got signed off the same day my brother's shop got 100% like, okay, like signed off by the health department.
Yeah.
And I remember waking up and strolling on Instagram and I saw him in front with the health inspector in front of the shop, took a pictures as we're officially open. I got my paper signed today. I called my mentor. I was like, hey, bro, can I get signed off today? So yeah. So dope. He told me like a couple of weeks ago, like, hey, we got to get down there, bro. You got to get signed off. You know what I mean? We're going to have to start tattooing and shit. And so me and the shop actually have the same anniversary date.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. So once I got signed off, and the shop opened, I told my boss, like, oh, I'm not going nowhere, bro. Like, I've been here 8 years, like 4 years as a shop help, 4 years as an apprentice, and no, excuse me, 2 years as an apprentice.
Right.
And I was 4 years as a tattooer there.
So at the time, I know he said he had some shirts kind of filled up, but coming into Crown of Thorns, did you also grasp that opportunity to learn from others and like kind of shadow people, or did you do a lot of that in the beginning? Kind of.
So I really like the way that my brother was influenced by Roach and doing like that next level black and gray stuff. You know what I mean? Like I learned to do consultations here.
So yeah, that's what I'm curious. Like,
I mean, like I'm a street shop artist. Like,
right.
Let's say I get canceled right now. I'm like, oh man, like somebody walks in and they want a traditional piece, they want a black and gray piece, they want a script name, they want a geometric piece, they want a mandala, they want, I'm down, homie. What's the reference? What do you like? All right, cool. What are the things you want to mix and match? All right, cool. Give me a couple of minutes, come back here, hit the other tab, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? It's like serve them.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I was at Bad Apple for a couple of years, and I never, even still to today, my brother talks shit to me. I don't have a portfolio. I never had a portfolio, bro. The reason why is because what I was scared of was being used to walk-ins. You know what I mean? So the reason why I never had a portfolio was because I already had the following. I already had my Instagram and all that shit. So from an apprentice all the way up to being signed off, man, I had one guaranteed a day. Like I had an appointment a day. So my mentors that were there, I learned from everybody at the shop. These fools would walk in like, hey, you tattooing today? Like, I have an appointment. I'm like, all right, cool. This chick wants her name done or her name done, whatever, whatever the piece is. And they'll be like, well, you were here first. I was like, look, dude, I got an appointment already. So I'll do it if you don't want me to. And they're like, no, I got it. Yeah. So like, if I have an appointment and a walk-in comes in, ever since day one, bro, I'm shooting it. Like somebody else do it. You know what I mean? Just because I didn't want to become greedy. I didn't want to become reliable on it. And if my portfolio was out there, if people walk in like, oh, I just want to look at some books, then I was a potential to be picked. But if I'm pushing, Willie Cutlib, James Ferreira, DJ Tamby, like all these sick ass fools that make bad apple, of course they're gonna get taken care of. You know what I mean? But again, it gave me a strict way of using my own promotions to get myself where I'm not relying on walk-ins because
I said that whole gift of gab is a mouthpiece.
Yeah,
that's a hustle in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like you don't want to push. I mean, it depends. I guess the type of you do conventions, right? Like you guys have done a few already. Oh, you haven't. Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you that too.
So the convention that you saw me at and gave me some flash sheets at Body Expo.
Yeah.
that was the first and only convention that I did as a piercer. So I had some piercing jewelry and I did a couple just to kind of roll with Roach and my brother and stuff. And
Which one? Yeah, where was that? Was that San Diego? Where was that?
Pomona?
Okay, Pomona. Yeah, it must be Pomona.
Yeah, I mean, years ago, like when Bishop had them, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then through tattooing and apprenticing and stuff like that, I felt that you had to be like sick. You know what I mean? Like in order to make money and do, you know, a bunch of walk-ins and bangers, like I didn't have any sketchbooks with options the way that the traditional guys did. I didn't have a full day appointment ready like some of the realism guys did. You know what I'm saying? So like, now I want it. I mean, I'm ready now. Like 9 years later, like, but bro, now I can bang out palm size traditional pieces in an hour. You know what I mean? Like if I can have like a set sheet or just books or just what do you want, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I feel that I could do really well, especially if I go with like, you know, friends that have been in the circuits and like have those experiences and stuff like that. Cause it's, I mean, I just want to go tattoo, man. You know what I mean? I don't drink, I don't party. I just, if I do leave to go tattoo and make money, I want to make money.
Right. So then describe your clientele. How did you transitioning into being 100% tattooer and then being actually like on the clock, if you will, like now you're able to back up your work, right? How did you do your promotional? Because I know you mentioned, okay, MySpace, Facebook. Yeah, there was like a lot of, you know, you're able to, you know, promote your stuff, but how it is now with Instagram, I mean, it made the world smaller, but also broadened the like choices for people where how do you select that one, right?
Right.
And this is wild. In your own area, sure, then things get smaller as far as like the circle of where to choose. But how did you do the whole self-promotional thing, or what was your take on that? Like how your clientele right now, things like that, people that come out to you to get tattooed and stuff now.
So in the beginning of the apprenticeship, I'm obviously tattooing for tips. So since I was in a shop where I was scrubbing everybody's tubes anyway, like I didn't have to buy my own tubes. I just, whatever I used, I had to ask permission and obviously set and break them down and stuff like that. So I would basically tell people like, hey man, fucking come buy me tacos and I'll tattoo you. And that was like my little thing for a long time now. A lot of people just come buy me lunch and I would tattoo them. You know, if I do one a day, I'm like, all right, you're at 1 o'clock. All right, cool. I'm gonna get you some tacos. And, you know, the tacos, the drawing's done. I already painted it at that time. Like I already had a scrimmage of what I was gonna do and everything. And a lot of my piercing clients, man, were so young that they already didn't have any experience walking into tattoo shops. They might have gotten like a couple here and there, but probably didn't have like a real personal experience.
Right.
But they trusted me to stab them all over. So like when it came to tattooing them, man, they were just like they were stoked. Everybody was happy to help me like get on this journey of everything. And you know, I post everything that I did. I posted everything, bro. And yeah, there's some stuff I actually covered up, which I'm proud of.
Yeah.
Like to evolve from like doing something small, but you know, I'm not into it. All right, cool. Let me do something on this, and you get it. Like I think that's fucking rad. So my clients were always cool, man. They've always been like my friends, and they've always been friends of friends or siblings or even their kids, bro. Like I have probably 6 families, man, that I've tattooed probably 3 to 4 generations.
Yeah. So you gotta think that's pretty crazy, man. Like to, you know, you're 9 years tattooing and established to be, you know, self-made. So like aside from the fact after you apprentice, right now, everything beyond that point, it's on you, your clientele, your outcome, your, you know, experiences from other shops. Everybody has to come together and almost bring like, this is where this guy did wrong. Let's prevent this. Let's prevent this in business. Let's prevent that in promotion. Or how do we want to like, you know, make a commercial for ourselves, right? That's on you. So it's like a lot of people don't really get taught that aspect or that side of things. And then here's how you learn all that or how you pick things up. And
I've learned a lot more from artists on what not to do than like what to do.
Right.
And it's just, you know, you're just in a shop. you have an opinion? Like, I would never talk to a client like that, or I would never say that, or, you know what I mean? There's a lot of fools that, when I was piercing at other street shops and shit, that's, my piercing is the mostly when I bounce around. I've only tattooed at, Crown of Thorns and Bad Apple, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, man. Like, I've done some guest spots and stuff, but like, a lot of my jumping around was with piercings, but when I was piercing, bro, I had a big eye on these fools, and these fools don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? They don't care that the stencil's on backwards, or, you know what I mean? If it's just a lot of things, bro. And I've learned that it takes the right tool for the right job. Don't be lazy. Like, just if it means to hand stencil the tattoo, like, you already have a warm up lap on your racetrack. Like, that's a benefit. It's not a chore. It's not like, oh fuck. Like, it's, I mean, like, you get to know every cut and curve of the problem. So when you have
What you're about to do,
yeah, you're there, dude. You already know, like, oh, this lip gives me problems. I mean, well, now it's perfect. Why? Because you hand stencil. Right. I mean, you actually went through the practice. You actually exercised the brain to the hand and ran your route.
which is crazy because now that you could just print the stencil out, it eliminates that. So therefore, you have to just be like at the ready, like flip that switch on.
Yeah, no, and exactly. And honestly, that's tattooing too. But I do catch myself the days that I don't hand draw them or like, go over the scrimmage in a sense.
Yeah.
I'll look at it and I'll look at the reference like, what the fuck? But you know what I mean? Like, it's not a problem, but it's just kind of like an uncertain thing to where, like, let's say I just drew an eagle and I hand drawn that 4 times. I mean, when my machine is on, dog, boom.
Yeah,
You already did it.
yeah. You took a lot of pride into like tattooing and stuff. So, what would you say is your proudest in your whole experience of tattooing? Like, proud moment that you can remember?
Very easy. We had a massive shooting out here in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay at a country concert, and my cousin was there. And it's so crazy because I'm tattooing. I'm tattooing at Bad Apple right now, right? And I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, I'm sorry, homie. Like, I just got one more tattoo. They just walked in, bro. Like, he was there. He was good. He's at my mom's house. I was on the other side of town and everything. But that one tattoo, bro, I did it. It was great. I didn't rush through it. It was cool. I got to my mom's house. I gave him a hug. He's like, all right, primo, like, I love you. Me and the wife are gonna go see this concert because the guy that we want to see is about to go on. All right, cool, man. Like, thank you so much for staying, bro. It meant a lot to me. So then the shooting happened, and when I woke up, I had a text from him, and it was like, hey, primo, I just want to let you know there was a shooting at the concert. We left. We're safe. We're good. I'm like, shooting? And cowboy cop. I'm like, oh, it's probably some fucking dumb, hand Glock or, gunfire, the little thing, you know what I mean? Right. Open up Facebook, Instagram, and bro, it was the most ugliest thing ever. You just hear just nonstop post. And I was, first of all, super grateful that my cousin wasn't hurt. But you start seeing people that were hurt. You start seeing the people that know them and people that are posting their GoFundMes and shit, and it's fun, bro. My most proudest moment is this. That morning, I made a video online and I said that we need to raise money for everybody. Yeah. So I will be doing $50 bangers or whatever you want, palm sized, Vegas related. When I got to the shop, homie, it was more than any Friday the 13th I've ever experienced. So much that everybody in the shop, all 6 other artists, started doing it. They had appointments, they did them, and they started banging them out. He did it for a straight month. And it was only supposed to be for a couple of days. And I made another post about it and said, dude, there's no way that we can get to everybody. So I'm going to extend this until we can. So out of a matter of like 4 weeks, we raised 16 grand. And it was all in cash. There was no GoFundMe. I didn't want any of those apps to get a percentage or a tax or whatever. So what I did was I made a list of people and I went to these people's places and I handed them money. And a lot of people were like, dude, I can't accept this. Dude, like, there's this one guy, he got hit in the chest and is like an inch away from like a fatal shot. This fool opened up the door, bandaged up, dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey man, how you doing, bro? You know, and it's very nice to meet you. You know, I'm from Bad Apple, and you know, we're here because you're friends, and you know, stuff like that." And a lot of people were very emotional, man. You know, these people were like 2 grand. You know what I mean? Some bartenders over there, they got 500. Yeah, it started trickling down. The biggest focus was the people that were shot and the families that were gone. But it's it was like awesome and amazing because we helped so many people, and so many people got their first tattoo. There's like the most popular thing I've ever heard was, "I've never had a reason to get tattooed until I saw your post. This is what I want. I'm proud to be here. I love Vegas. I want this." And then it was great, man. My taco spot that I always got tacos from with clients and stuff, they donated food to us. My homie from Monster Energy, he delivered like fucking 6 just cases of fucking every flavor, man. It was
Just keep on.
dude, the tattoo shops, the tattoo supply that I worked for in my apprenticeship, they donated fucking mules and supplies to us. Like, it was super dope, bro. And tattooing did it. Tattooing raised fucking money and raised people's hopes, and there's so many memorial tattoos that we did, and it was just a lot of healing, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's like unheard of, you know? Crazy, because yeah, you're right. Like the events like Friday the 13th, or we do like people do the specials, but I like to hear the awareness stuff or the crisis, and then there's the solution or the help by a tattoo shop. Like that's unheard of. You know what I mean?
yeah, and honestly, bro, it was dope. You know, we got on LA Times, the New Yorker, Fox, like all that stuff, and then other shops started doing it. And at first, my boss was like, "Look at these fools trying to fucking copy you," and I was like, "No, they know it's the right thing to do. They know
You guys see, it's like the community.
what are you gonna do?" Yeah, like there's no car wash that can get money like that. You know, no disrespect at all, but sure. I mean, people were filing in. I'm talking like fucking open to close, like it was the '90s. You know what I mean? Like, and everybody was respectful. Everybody was patient. Everybody was cool, bro. They knew what it was, man, and it was beautiful, bro. And I'm glad that we have tattooing to do that. You know, I mean, I don't know if there's in another industry or trade that can do that.
Yeah, that has that kind of slap for one,
Yeah,
and to be able to provide a service where, because all this is being a donation. You know what I mean?
yeah. And you know what I mean? We're doing quality stuff, man.
Right. So it's not like you're getting some like $50 trash banger. No,
It's like you're getting a $10 line drawing.
yeah, that's the time you're gonna go get it's gonna be more than worth it. You know what I mean? Like that's your chance to get a piece.
So many poker chips, so many skylines,
Right.
Las Vegas 702, Golden Knights. You know what I mean? It was whatever, bro. You could get
Biggest.
you can get a Roberto's. It's our Mexican chain out here.
Yeah,
Roberto's logo, dog. I'm gonna fuck like, and it was great, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's definitely my proudest moment in this life.
What's the difference between where you were? Where was it in? Where did you live in Whittier?
Yeah,
So you being like surrounded in that Whittier location, and then going to Vegas, where your surroundings or like just the environment, the levels of anxiety to levels of, did you feel that change?
honestly, I mean, it was a great change. You know what I mean? There's no fools that you rival with at high school. So when you go to fucking
Right.
your favorite burrito track, you know what I mean? You're not running into enemies. Like when I came out here, bro, no one knew who I was. And it wasn't like they were scared of me. It's just, I wasn't a threat. You know what I mean? So I can walk at any party, drive to any side of town, and it was cool, man. It still is cool. Like we're heavily crowded and shit like that, but
Right.
that's the world, man. You know what I mean?
So
But
you're in a better space. You're in a better like.
yeah, bro, I love my life out here, and I encourage all my friends and enemies to come out here because we deserve to live like this, man. We deserve to be able to work and provide for our family, pick them up from school, drop them off, and tattoo. You know what I mean? Like, I really, really give a lot of props to everybody in California that's tattooing and owns a home. Like, I think that's very hard to do. And I think that it's very awesome that people are doing it, man. And I don't think I could do it in California. What I have out here is just basically like a fresh new like friend start. And, you know, I never did anything bad to people out here, and it's cool, you know, knuckleheads growing up and shooting it out in LA, you know what I mean? And I just it's dope out here, bro. And I'm happy that my kids are out here. There's fucking like 60 skate parks. There's
you skate, right? Like you're
I rode BMX more.
oh, not next to you.
Just because, you know, in California that was a ride.
Right. Yeah. I didn't have choice.
Yeah, and then in Whittier, skateboarding in Whittier, it was really just at Uptown Whittier, and it was kind of like sets, and yeah, it wasn't my set.
Yeah, I get it. So how's it like working with your brother?
Working with my brother is awesome. It's we're definitely different. You know what I mean? It's cool, different. He's what I want to professionalize into. But I just like to party. Like I love laughing, you know what I mean? I'm playing the gnarly music that might trip some people out, you know what I mean? Or my clothes have fucking tattoo ink on them, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's dressed real nice, he has gold. He wears gold, I wear silver. So I use the joke that I'm in second place.
Yeah.
But it's just me, dog. Like I just feel weird. Like, how would you wear a gold chain with fucking spray paint on your shoes? Like, I just feel I just feel goofy, man, and I'm more comfortable in my style of I guess more punk rock.
Well, it's cool because you mentioned that shop. You guys kind of run it like your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely it's his house. So I people think that we own it together, and I'm always honest, and I'm like, nah, I came here 2 hours or 2 years after it opened, and this is entirely his. I'm proud that he's done this. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of fools that can pull this off, and when he did, bro, he just like how, you know, when we get into something, we embrace it, we love it, and we passionately research it. And the mentors that he accumulated, the clients he accumulated, like he's seen a lot of altitudes, bro. And it just does take that time to put on a fresh shirt, you know what I mean? Put on clean shoes, not come in all, you know, because I have a saying, dude, if it's not on you, it's not in you. So all my clothes have fucking paint on it, bro. My kids, they're the same way, dude. But they learned that from me, but whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, he's elevated himself as a entrepreneur and a tattooer, and we talk about tattooing and work all the time, bro. He's my mentor. He will tell me where I'm slacking all the time. He's my brother. I love it when he does it. And even when it comes to tattooing, bro, like stencil application, his voice is in my head. Even with my mentors, my brother's voice is always going through my mind. So I'm really lucky to be here, bro. I'm really happy that he's provided this place. He's put a lot of love into this temple, and I treat it like it's my own. We don't have an apprentice. We don't have a shop guy.
Yeah.
We mop. We scrub this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't work. Yeah.
Yeah. But you walk in, it's like, you don't have an apprentice? You don't have a guy to do this shit? Like,
I asked him the same, and I remember seeing him. He had a video of him just mopping and getting the spot ready, and I'm like, see, that is admirable. So just to kind of like everyone's pulling their own weight, needs to get taken out, bro. Like you already know the business, you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly.
What would you say you've elevated? I know you. I mean, like just to kind of give you that, whether in life and you know what I'm saying. Like, where's your elevation point? You feel?
My most recent one, bro, and is the most hard-hitting one I've ever had, is to learn that not all my clients are my friends.
Right.
And I'm very personal. You know what I mean? I follow more of my clients than I do other tattooers and shit, because I want to say happy birthday, you know, when they're kid. You know, it means that means a lot, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be their neighborhood tattooer in every fucking neighborhood in Vegas. And yeah, I think learning that people are not my friends is the hardest part, because you know, people come into some things and are very understanding on cancellations last minute, but you know, my bills get slow and shit like that, and it just happens, man. So with that, I just take on being more strategized of who I book on what week of the month. So your responsible people, your parents, homeowners, put them at the last 2 weeks of the month because they already have their bills set. They're not waiting for their last check to pay their rent. You know what I mean? And all the people that like to party and, go do this and that, you got to give them the first 2 weeks. When all the bills are paid, I'm serious. When all the bills are fucking paid and they got a little bit of that money on me, that's when you get them.
Get in while you still have it.
Yeah. But it's, it's not my fault. You know what I mean? But, and to say the next place I want to level up, man, is I want all my clients to have a personal consultation with me so I can jot down all of our notes, all of our, likes and dislikes. Take it more, treat it not necessarily like a medical procedure, but if you have a surgery coming up, you have to go in, talk to your doctor, concerns and worries, all those things. And it's just so when they come in, it's like, all right, cool. Yeah. Here's your drawing. What do you think? Not like, well, I saw this. What do you think about it? Like, nah.
Right.
But, I want to come in every morning with my coffee, knowing like today's Tiger Day. I'm letting out a tiger on this thigh. It is fucking head up here, facing this way. And I know, like, I was dreaming about this fucking tiger. And that's when my best work comes out.
So you feel like you're kind of more on the spot, wired kind of thing? Like your system is like the whole, from being the street shops and walking, like, I haven't really sat down to actually like consult with people too often.
Right. So just a great example is if, let's say me and you are tattooing the same shop and two walk-ins come in and they want the same thing. And they're like, hey, I want a neo-traditional or neo-Japanese severed tiger head, or just a tiger's head.
Yeah.
You and I will be able to knock that out of the park, no problem. Just give us 30 minutes, 45 minutes, we'll get this down. Imagine having 4 days. You sit, 4 days to, I want this, folks. Look at these fucking teeth. Look at these whiskers. I want this snarl. You know what I mean? And now that's what I want. I want a more concentrated time for development. I am capable of doing it real quick. I do give them the cut that they want. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're like, I want this, just like this. Don't change it. I want what she has. And, traditionally I would be like, yo, don't do that. I'll call you something, but I want my client happy at the end of the fucking appointment. And sometimes it's giving them that fucking screenshot. It's change, bro. You know what I mean? You can't please every tattoo or every tattoo client with a custom piece that you drew. There's just some people that want this. I want to look like this guy. And as a tattooer, what's your job?
Right. Why are you there?
Yeah.
Why?
Especially if I haven't had anything for a whole week. You know what I mean? Like I won't replicate people's tattoos. Like there's certain things that I won't cross over, but if somebody comes in with a screenshot of a tattoo, that means they want a tattoo drawn. You know what I mean? Like even they're like, oh, I like her hair. All right, cool. It's not gonna be blonde. It's not gonna be like that. You know what I mean? It's gonna be similar to that, but it's just like making a sandwich, bro. You just find out the bread and the ingredients they want.
Right.
Get cooking.
And it is like some people that they just decide they're just gonna treat you like a transaction. You know what I mean?
Oh, like, all right, print it right off. And then they're tattooing and realize the fucking numbers on the clock's backwards.
Right.
Yeah. But that's what you get, motherfuckers.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like we're so lucky and we're so privileged to have it so easy that like if you take too many easy steps on me, like your tattooing's it's gonna show. You know what I mean? And out here, bro, you can't hide it. You can't hide that you took a reference or Pinterest or anything like that. But if you use that reference or you use that line drawing or whatever, you got to make it your own.
And I feel like it's very important to be personal with your clients and like keep that connection, like you mentioned. Being aware, obviously, that like, yeah, you can tell when someone's like, oh, this isn't the homie. Yeah, they're trying to get the hookup, or now it became difficult because that's the homie. But if they respect your business, therefore they should, still, support you for what you're asking, right?
And all it takes is one tattoo for them to be like, all right, what, I will listen to what you say. Oh yeah, bro, you were right. And a lot of times, bro, is my favorite thing is to always go bigger. But somebody comes in like, oh, all right, I was thinking about like, here to here. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'll print out before I would print out 3 different sizes. So you have a baby bear, mama bear, papa bear.
Right.
That way, if I want to sell you on the middle one, I'm gonna make that other one bigger. So with the eye, I'm like, oh, what do you think about this? And sometimes I mean the big one, when you cut it out, you wrap it on that arm, and it just flows with the muscle. You're like, it's exactly what you need.
Yeah, it fits way better. That's really good inside stuff, man. I was really I was like, for one, because I knew your background from going piercer to tattooer. I think that's one of those things that I didn't know that you completely drop piercing. I thought you were still like once in a while, you know what I mean? And that just shows you the level,
I've been asked if I would ever go back to it now that I do tattoo and everything. Me personally, I wouldn't, only because I'm not going to spend 10 grand in jewelry that may sit. I don't have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, that's what it takes to be successful. You know what I mean? When they come in and just a display of just all this beautiful jewelry, and then you go in the back, everything is already sterile and its pouches and dated, and like it's an investment, man. And I feel that if I did go back to piercing, it would take a lot away from tattooing. And we've already been here. Like, I know what I want. I want to be a tattooer. I can't. I have 3 daughters. One's fucking 7 months today. Like,
crazy.
I can't depend on a tongue piercing or the jewelry change to pay my bills.
Right.
And with today too, man, like kids are getting tattooed a lot younger. People are getting Amazon machines and shit like that. So we're tattooing 18-year-olds now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Straight out. Like we don't tattoo any minors here at all. I have a lot of clients that want to bring their kids and their good homies and shit. And my favorite thing to fucking tell is no.
Right.
I had to wait till I was 18. You have to wait. I mean, I don't care what the law is out here. It's just how it is at Crown of Thorns. And by that time, I can't tell you how many 18 birthdays I've celebrated with these kids. Tattoo them. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. That's special. Especially when you tell a kid no these days and they have to wait and then they come. You know how much you want to appreciate it? You know how many times that the tattoo idea has changed?
Right.
All the time.
And regret later because again, it was one of those like shoot at the hit, and I'm just gonna go in and get my first tat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. And I tell these kids like, bro, you know how happy I am? I didn't get the stars on my wrist that I wanted tattooed when I was a junior because I played guitar. I don't have any nautical stars on me. I don't have, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing on me that I don't like. I mean, there's definitely things that I got when I was younger that I wish I got, later on. Like, but I love all my tattoos.
Yeah, that's a pretty good perspective. I like that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's there's a lot of people that get tattooed, let's say neighborhoods or straight edge, and there's a lot of people that their lifestyles changed.
Right.
Like a lot of people think like, oh, I'm gonna be like this forever. Like, bro, when you're 20 to 30, I mean.
Yeah.
Everything changes. Nearly everything.
So then, knowing then what you know now, what would you tell yourself? What kind of advice would you?
Don't fucking drink.
What?
If I can go back in the time machine, homie,
yeah,
I would stop myself from drinking because I'd be tattooing by 19.
Right.
You know what I mean? That'd be 20 years in right now. You know what I mean? And if there was never drinking, there'd be no bagging and shit. And I remember being excited, bro, as a signed off artist, you know what I mean? Like, all right, I'm gonna go to the store, meet my client, get a 6-pack, and having like that real homie tattooer, like that shit fades quick, bro.
Right.
Because those fools don't tip because they bought it all on beer. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I say just draw, man. If you think you draw too much, you don't draw enough. I was just working. Where
I'm like, because you've been through your own trials and tribulations, what kind of advice would you even put together for anybody to be like, going through a struggle or a pitfall, there's a way out of it?
If you see a problem, address it immediately, man. Don't let it linger. Don't let it grow because it's just going to get more of a problem. And the longer you allow it to be a problem, the more it's going to hurt your tattooing. Like, going into a tattoo where you're already fucking not. By you continuing to do that or being lazy around it, you're only egging yourself, man.
Actually, bury yourself deeper.
But if you're sitting there midday, like, I need to slow down. Hit your machine. Slow down. You know what I mean? Put a small mag out. Take your time. Like no one's pressuring you, dog. You know what I mean? Like, and I even till today, I still have that pressure on me. Like I gotta hurry up and get these kids, and then you know what I mean. So you gotta adjust yourself, bro. Every day's different. Every client's different, and it's not getting easier. You know, life doesn't get easier. Like tattooing doesn't get easier. Like it's more competitive, and you got clients that either want a super hot chick to do the same tattoo as you, and they'll pay them $2,000 more. And it's like, I can't compete with that. You know what I mean? I can't compete with what people want to experience when they get tattooed. I just offer myself, and you're gonna laugh. You can decompress your fucking shit. You know how it is, man. We're therapists. Without therapists, hey,
exactly. Without the diploma.
Yeah, it's like, you know, we actually owe me some stuff.
Now it's like, actually, there's a fee now. So the gratuity, you know, it's like included. Yeah.
But I could definitely say that I'm very proud that I've saved some people's lives on me. For sure. I have a lot of clients that told me that they were gonna do it, and I helped them. And I moved on that, and I do a lot of work with people with depression and suicidal stuff, because I don't know, there's dozens of clients that I've tattooed that took their own lives, man, and I feel like maybe I could have done more, but at the end of the day, bro, when somebody makes a decision like that, there's nothing we can do, but it helps me that I can prolong it or give them a tattoo of their kid's fucking name, so when they're in the midst of dark, they just look down and see my work or see that name and be like, yeah, nah.
What have made an impact on their lives, or they feel better leaving the shop. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, bro.
When they came in.
Yeah, especially I want to say the main style or main subject of tattoos that I do are memorials. The funny guy that loves to do cartoons and all this crazy shit. It's mostly people that passed away, children, pets, grandparents, and because I think it's cool because you cannot get a tattoo for someone like that and not like, you know what I mean? Like I've done signatures and logos and stuff, and people are, oh, what's that for? Oh, it's for her dad. You know what I mean? And it's, yeah, it's so much sicker than this other Cobra head that I did 2 days ago.
This dope, man. This has been sick, bro. This has been solid. I knew you were gonna do great. Like, I'm not worried about, because I mean, everybody has a story. That I come to find out now, like what, 38 episodes in, bro. Everyone that I spoke to, there's a conversation there, bro. Like with anyone. As one of those things, I was like, bro, get on. For one, I wanted to just highlight the whole, you know, that past, bro. Like, is this your start to where you are, you know? And again, the whole thing that you and your brother are doing it together, in a sense where it's just such a tight community within that shop. It's pretty sick.
Yeah. I think the best thing about working with my brother is that all the other guys feel like brothers.
Right.
Like it's not like, oh, these guys are fucking, you know, everybody.
Yeah.
Terry's been here since day one.
Yeah.
Nearly 10 years, bro.
10 years. It's
nearly 10. And like he was a good homie of mine before I actually introduced him to my brother. And now he's just a brother, bro. We had an apprentice that was here for 2 years, and he's an amazing oil portrait artist. He's actually my art teacher. I was trying to like level up in realism, and I was like, I need to learn how to draw portraits. So I took his class out here, and just amazing, bro. Like I'm really happy with the guys that we have here, and there's no room for anything less than that. Like if you ain't got the standard, yeah, it's loyalty or nothing. Like it's you know what I mean? Like these fools care about their families. These fools care about the clients. And I think my favorite thing about our crew is that when the world is hard or things are tough out there, we all come in. There's times that we come here not even tattooing. It's just like, I didn't fucking say about this weekend, dude. And it's just, it's beautiful, bro. Because you can't do that at Foot Locker. You can't do that at the bank. You can't do that a lot of places.
Retail,
stoked to be with my brother. If I ever did separate from my brother, it'd be to extend Crown of Thorns, for sure, and then be to offer a second location. But other than that, man, I love seeing them. This is literally a lot of the time that we get together, and then we get our kids together and stuff. But this is the best way to have my brother in my life, and God put us in the same industry, in the same city, in different styles. So
Yeah,
I'm stoked he does all that stuff, bro. Because
absolutely.
he'll do 3-hour stencil preparations, and I'm just like, just to be like, boom, 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 bro. Or I'm just like, lay the stencil, turn all the fucking purple lines black.
Okay.
You don't need a reference to the line drawing, just go.
It's crazy, dude.
You know what I mean? Run a coil at 9,
Yeah,
play my day in the back.
that ripping did.
Bro, I love it, man. It's a, like I tell people, because they ask like, why do you use these old style machines? I'm like, these were made by tattooers for tattooers. I can't get an ink bottle like that. I can't get the stencil stuff, the gloves.
Sure.
Not even these needles. These needles are made by computers and stuff like that. But I'm just grateful to be a tattooer, bro.
Where can people find you? Where can people find the shop? Go ahead and plug all that stuff in. What kind of you showcasing your work throughout the episode too? So,
sick. Working with me, it's simple, bro. Just basically Instagram. I'd like to funnel down to email only, but with my stories available today, or it's just you can't escape it. Yeah, man, we're down here at Crown of Thorns, Vegas.
what's your Instagram, man?
My Instagram is Peter Barrios Tattoo, all one word. And yeah, man, we love tattooing. We're here on the weekend, so if you want to fly in or drive in and stuff like that, we got dates with the company that. And I'm here 6 days a week, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna come pop in sometime, bro. I'm gonna take a little trip out there and take the fan out, come hang out with you guys. It'll be dope.
Let me know what you want to do. You want to go paint a wall? You want to fucking let me know the dates. We'll set it up. It'd be cool.
Get some rounds in,
dude. We can fight. We can go shoot rounds.
Yeah.
This is my favorite thing about Las Vegas. Okay.
Yeah, Vegas is.
I own an AK-47.
Let's go.
That you can carry in your car, in the trunk. You know what I mean? I smoke weed. You're probably gonna edit that out. Anyway, it's dope.
That's all you, though, boy.
No, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that in California, bro. You can't have that type of weapon in California, and we're just a freeway difference. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No.
I love home, but this is my home now.
All right, dude. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the time. Thank you for beating me up.
Yeah, I'd love to come down and check out the studio, man. That'd be really,
that'd be sick. Come out here, bro. Anytime too. Anytime you come this way, bro, you guys gotta pop in, man. We gotta do this.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I'll set up a guest spot, man. It's been 9 years since I've been in California. Just things, bro. I would love to go out there, but a lot of the times that I'll go, I'll get cancellations last minute, and it's only because it's like friends and no deposits. So I'm like, dude, I do. No, I get that, bro. That's one of the things that I'm coming. Anytime people come out, I always make sure they have because this is like a snare area, so it's like I want to make sure people are like, hey, I got so and so coming in, but you guys want to collect a piece from them, so you know what I mean. That's just to kind of show that love too. So yeah, I know. I love tattooing tattooers, bro. I think that's.
Oh yeah, I gotta collect a piece from. I'm trying to get pieces from everybody that I know too.
We do it at the same time, so but
yes,
get your back
right. Just like get one and the other day, yeah.
But I'm down, man. Me and my brother would love to have you out here too. Even if you wanted to do a show in Vegas, you know what I'm saying?
That'd be fun. Hell yeah, dude. Let's plan something in the future for sure, man.
Yeah, I got an art show at the end of this month on the last Sunday. It's at the Area 15.
Oh,
and the Rockabilly Custom Lowrider Car Show. So I'm hand painting a few trophies.
Right.
So it's a way to kind of push out my painting company of custom stuff. So I'm gonna do one for mini truck, one for hot rod, lowrider, and they're all gonna be different little characters and shit like that. It's outdoors. Cars. I don't know.
That's gonna be dope. But
if not, man, we'll definitely link up and we'll find some dates and it'll be dope, bro.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Well, man,
appreciate it, man. Thanks for everybody to tune in too. Let's checking out my homie's story and just kind of hear some, different perspectives. I think that's very special and highlight the shot.
Thank you, brother.